Right. Hello, good people. I hope you're doing good. How is your day? Good. How is your day? Well, I'm back with a new video here, and right now I would like we talk about how YouTube is basically a very good platform for uploading your ideas, opinions, um, and your thoughts. But I wanted us to discuss. There has been a lot of, Nyabohanse is one of the places here in the country. Is actually one of the villages here in the country where there are a lot of YouTubers. But I wanted us to discuss about that YouTubing thing in Nyabohanse and maybe think about it from a very different perspective. So you see, a lot of Kenyans and a lot of young people, because of the current situation in the country, unemployment rates are very high, and social media is always on the rise. So, courtesy of Ayamaro, a lot of young people in Nyabohanse and Nyamwine have found it, have found actually YouTube as one of the places or one of the business ventures where they can just go upload videos, go get content, and then with the hope that they're going to get money. But I want us to think about it from a very different perspective. When you look at all these Nyabohanse young YouTubers, do they do it to give you content, or do they use the platform as a place to showcase their problems? Because one of the things that I have found it very difficult for me to follow majority of these young people is their content. And even the guy who started this thing in that village is so predictable. We live in a man-eat man society. So what I have identified with the majority of these people's content is they are not as creative as you might think, and they're really struggling to get content. The village has become their niche. That's their production house. That's their Disneyland. That's their Hollywood. But again, they are taking advantage of their less privileged. Like now, this guy by the name is Nasto. I've loved his content. He does a lot of good content, and his home is one of the most organized homes in that village. The way he does landscaping, and he avoids a lot of chaos at all cost. But you remember, guys, when Brian stole phones in the villa? The title of that video was, there was this name, Thief. And the title Thief, when you write your title using the term thief, that term is likely to drive viewership, is likely to invite traffic on your channel. So recently, it's Nasto and Yeyo Kama Yeyo, they are working at his sister's land, because the sister is also building a house that was started by It's Nasto. But then you realize there was a guy who had an issue. He has an issue. There was a man, he has a medical issue, and so he needed some materials, waste metal, to go and sell and make some few coins to support himself. So what ended up happening, the title of that video was termed as a thief. We found a thief at the construction site. And as much as I do not agree with that guy, because if you're going to another person's site, you're supposed to at least notify the person in charge so that they can give you permission. Even if you want to collect waste products, that site is not yours. Again, the law does not permit you to trespass other people's land. So in this case though, I do not agree with the term thief. These people in that village, and the reason as to why I'm criticizing Nasto is because I would have expected Nasto looks like one of the... he looks so reasonable. I've watched his content for quite some time and he looks so reasonable with his content. But again, on this one, I did not find it reasonable at all. Why would you call somebody a thief and end up uploading that video? And then a few days later, we are seeing you taking a bed to that guy, which tells me one thing. These villagers are willing to do anything for content. It doesn't matter. They will slander you. They will do anything for content. And they do not understand this thing about content is like, there's content you just upload to educate, to motivate, to inspire. Initially, when Ayamaro was starting, he was doing all the content with a mission of inspiring people. Excuse me. I have to take some coffee with lemon. I like it that way. So sometimes you have to do content, with a genuine agenda. And in this case, probably I would have expected maybe you do this thing to inspire. Or again, you can also do content and show, what, I'm a forgiving human being. I'm not even going to call this guy a thief. And I would have expected him to maybe change that title. Yeah, so like I was saying, I would have expected him to change that title and be a little bit more humane, because you cannot call somebody else a thief and then later we are seeing you trying to, show people that you care, you have a good heart by going to buy a bed and giving him a bed. I find that as, modern day, I would call it modern day slavery, because you're using people and their misfortunes to make content, which is very, very unfair. Think about somebody like David Jr. David Jr. doesn't care about the age of the dancing grandma and Mwita. As long as there is content, as long as he has content, he's going to feed on that for days. And mark you, do you guys remember, the dancing grandma house has been under construction for quite some time now. When Mike Izzo was given the responsibility to build the barn, that barn was built within 2 or 3 weeks at most. And after that, no more content from that site. But with David Jr., what you've seen is he understands that he needs content for weeks, for months. So he has been feeding off the dancing grandma family for all that time. And when he realized that, there's boredom that can come in, people do not want to hang on to just a Mwita and dancing grandma, he comes up with a script. That's why you ended up finding that the dancing grandma, they had a wedding with Mwita. And it was planned so fast, dowry and everything. But for him, it's not even about marriage, it's not about that family, it's about him having the content, which is okay, because it's a 50-50 benefit. Dancing grandma has a house, dancing grandma and Mwita are benefiting in this way. David Jr. is also benefiting this way. But there's a limit to that. When it comes to David Jr. and dancing grandma, honestly speaking, there should be a limit to how far can I go with this one. And with this, I will connect it with other content creators in this country. There's a guy called Bahati Kenya. Now, when you start cross-dressing in the name of content, it already tells you one thing. Your level of creativity in the industry is on a decline. And what are you supposed to do? If I am a content creator, and I am, of course, and I realize that maybe my level of creativity is on a decline, one of the things I might want to do is perhaps even take a break. As big as you are, go reconnect with nature. At times, your mind needs to relax, and once you relax, you're going to automatically rejuvenate energy. And once you have rejuvenated your energy, it becomes easier for you to continue. Now, I need you guys to think about this guy by the name Wodemaya. Wodemaya is one of the biggest content creators, African content creators, but he no longer stresses in releasing and uploading content. He does not strain in uploading content. So what he does is first of all, he does not just upload content for the sake of uploading content, because he understands his audience. He understands his theme. He understands his mission, his objective, and his purpose. Unlike majority of YouTubers in Nyabohanse, they're just uploading content for the sake of content. You see, like the way I have a mission of making sure that every day I upload at least 1 or 2 or even 3 videos per day. To them, they just want to upload anything for the sake of uploading anything. That's why you'll find somebody, their content is full of hate towards the Ondaris family. Even when the Ondaris family guys, Dimwango, David Jr. and Ayamaro, even when they make good content, even when they do good, people don't appreciate that because they believe negativity sells. And the more negative they are, the more they are able to feed, because you realize that there's always a market for content. Positive or negative, there's always going to be a market for content. So eventually, what you identify is these people will do anything. They will do anything for content. And when it's all said, and that's why, by the way, the script in Nyabohanse is this: if I'm not exposing a vulnerable family, if I'm not exposing drunkards in the village, the elderly that needs a lot of help, poor kids without school fees, and building projects. Those are the 6 things you'll find in that village. It's either somebody is building a toilet, a barn, a house, they're in the farm, ladies are showering naked in the river. It's a script that we already know. Or the harvest. It's a script. You will never find these people doing something extra outside of that. They lack creativity. And you see, if I were Nyabohanse YouTubers, unfortunately they're so disunited, they're not so united, but if I were them, this is what I would do. For you guys, if some of you have watched this show by the name, Amazing Race, Big Brother, Survivor, and you guys, you also know Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast operates on a very diverse niche. He's not limited to one type of content. There's another guy called iShowSpeed. He's not limited to just one type of content. He does things differently. He has diversified his content in a way that he can reach out to multiple audience. He can reach out to a global audience. Now with the Nyabohanse guys, one of the things they lack is creativity, because they have limited themselves to a very small niche. And this small niche, you cannot meet all the needs for this small niche, because that content after some time, it's going to become very, very boring. Nobody's gonna want to consume that content, and especially at a moment like this, where the Nyabohanse people have already marketed Nyabohanse as one of the negative places to visit. We have so many communities in Kenya, but one of the main communities that people visit, the Ma community, the Maasai community, the way it's marketed, People will travel from all over the world to go and visit the Maasai community because it's one of the communities that has kept its traditions and culture. And being authentic, there's nothing as beautiful as being authentic. And guys, I would like you to go and maybe do a little bit research when it comes to content within the African context. Some of the YouTubes that are really having views are those showcasing the African way of doing things. Like in the morning, in an African village, this is what we do. Now with the Nyabohanse village, it's different, completely different. They're trying to modernize the village, but then they are losing it on their culture. You would have expected that you would see unity within the culture. What we've seen is a lot of nonsense. Sexual abuse issues, drunkenness, betrayal, hatred, and all those things. Greed, ego, and feeling as if, without this family, you cannot succeed on YouTube here. Those are some of the things that we've witnessed in that village. And then there's subscribers control. Now, there's a certain YouTuber, I'm not going to mention his name, and I've seen his subscription decline or drop rather, because he changed his niche. He used to, initially you expected, when you go to Nyabohanse, you expected to first of all go there as a volunteer. Whenever there is a project, whenever there is an ongoing project, you're expected to go there and volunteer, do work for free in an exchange for shoutouts. So that the people who are watching me assuming I'm a big YouTuber. I'm the one bowling, I'm the one saying, I'm the one speaking here. I'm the boss. I'm the king of the monarch. Nyabohanse is a monarch. Now assuming I'm a very big YouTuber. And there are young people who want to start YouTube and grow their YouTube channels and perhaps make a lot of money from the platform. So it's expected that once you go to Nyabohanse, you'll go there as a volunteer. So you're not paid, you'll work for free. If you're lucky, you're going to be given shelter. Like initially, Ayamara used to host people in his house in the villa. Now, once you're hosted there, you'll be working for free. And as you work, you'll go showing this is what I'm doing for today. Today I'm working with the horses. Today I want to clear grandma's house. I want to clean grandma's house. I want to cut grass for grandma's house. I want to do this and this and that. In an exchange for a shout out. But now this shout out, the people who might subscribe to your channel are the same people who belong to, are the same people who have subscribed to the one hosting you, to the one giving the shout out. Let me use the example of Ayamara. So we have somebody like Ayamara. I'll use Ayamara and Kizo. So Kizo was hosted by Ayamara, right? Now, Kizo being Ayamara's protege, by default, majority of the subscribers on Kizo's channel are the same subscribers on Ayamara's channel. Now, what does that tell you as a YouTuber? Kizo is under captive. Kizo has signed a declaration act that forever he will remain and will operate under Ayamara's guidance or leadership or niche, whatever. So that means even if Ayamara makes a mistake, Kizo will never speak about it. He will never speak about it. And that's how Nyabohanse is operating at the moment. Because do not think that the likes of Kizo do not see some of the things. They do, but they cannot speak about it. You remember this issue about cement. The ones Giti River was supposed to take 38 and Brian was supposed to take 12. But then, since the money was directly sent to Ayamara decided no. Giti River is going to take 40 and Daniel is going to take 12. Me, I'm sending money and I'm sending my money using a direct directive that this is how I intend, this is how I want my money to be spent. But then, so one person decides, I'm the one, as long as the money is with me, I'm the one who's going to dictate how this money is going to be used. You understand at that point? So all those hiccups are the ones people are not expected to talk about. And when they talk about them, they are called haters. And that's why I'm saying in Nyabohanse, you are expected once you go in there. You are expected. There is a high expectation that you can do your content, but do not attempt to touch the under-risk family. Now that's being a cult. That's not freedom. YouTube allows you to be free. And that's why it's so important. And one of the lessons I've discovered is it's very, very important that you allow God to take control, life and nature to take control. You just allow life to flow, and the rest you leave it to God. Subscribers will come from different corners of the world. And with that, do the right thing. Subscribing is the right thing to do. Now, apart from that, anyway, I know for sure that recently I've not, their videos I've not been watching because I know what to expect. That surprise element is no longer there. What appeared to be unique is no longer unique. Like you remember when Gogo's house was being built, people were lining up, people were waiting for the next upload. We would wait to see when is the next video going to be uploaded, because the way it started, that house, Ayamaro he had not even made up his mind that he's going to build that house, but one day they just start a foundation. The next day, sand is being poured, stones are being, delivered. And the next thing you realize, these guys, they're already 3 feet up. The next day, 6 feet up. The next day, they're on the lintel beam. The next day, the roofing has begun. And within a month, house is complete. Now that was beautiful content. That was content that was contenting. But recently, there's no content. And when you have no content and you need money, what do? You scramble. You even start creating conflicts that do not exist, so that at least it seems like you have something to give to people. And when you start living like that, you end up messing up yourself. You end up messing up your YouTube channel. So I believe for the next in a few months down the line, the Nyabohanse thing is going to be dead. And the worst thing about it is because these people are not even trying to diversify content. They're not even trying to make changes. They're not even trying to venture into something else. Now, if you watch the mainstream media platforms, they also struggle with content for sure. But then, when time is due, you will find that they will cancel this program and start another program. Because viewership, subscription, and the likes, comments, YouTube, your number of views, forget even the number of subscribers. Actually, on YouTube, all you need is 1,000 subscribers. Maybe let's say 1,200 subscribers. The most important thing on YouTube is likes and comments and views. But what drives views a lot is the likes. If you have 300,000 people watching you, then you have 200k likes. That's definitely going to drive traffic on your platform. It shows people are liking your comment. I would actually go for likes. I would prefer more people to like. Once I hit 1,000k subscribers, I would prefer more people to like my content, and perhaps even comment down below, because the comment section is good because it gives you an idea on what you're doing, what you did right, what you did wrong. Like in the recent video that Rocio uploaded while she was in Madrid, rather, Spain. There were comment section there, and people are telling her, we like your content because you don't talk too much. You allow the camera to do its work, and then you come. All you need to do is make sure the camera is rolling. You take as much content as you can, and then let us enjoy. So the comment section, at times, it guides you. It also guides me as a viewer. Sometimes I prefer watching and then reading the comments. Sometimes I would be watching the content as I read the comment section, because the comment section will also highlight some of the important cues that I may have missed on that whole upload. So other than that, there's more that we're going to talk, because I'm gonna be here daily reacting and posting and hoping for the best. Other than that, I'm wishing you 2026. I'm just hoping it's going to be a great year for everybody, and especially those who are going to put in work. For me, I just want to make sure that at least every single day I upload. I don't want to be controlled by the number of views. At times I get 2 views, at times you'll get 3 views, at times you get 4 views, at times you don't get even a view. But it is what it is. I won't take my journey. One thing I've also realized, by the way, is that sometimes easy come, easy go. Sometimes when you have people just subscribe to your channel because of emotions, not because they like your content, it kinda boosts your ego, and you kinda feel like you're the king. When you're kusema, you're the one who says this. And that ego can easily ruin you and your channel. It can also ruin your focus, because pride comes and takes over. And you see, when pride comes, you become cocky. Sometimes people don't even realize that they're being cocky, and the viewers might interpret that cockiness as arrogance. And arrogance, there's a difference between being unapologetic and arrogant. People don't like you being arrogant, and there are places where you can be forgiven, like in the Western countries, and especially if your race gives you a tick. But there are places your arrogance will not take you anywhere. We've seen so many subscribers lose. There's this guy who went to South America and decided, he's going to do content his way. But he did not realize that there are some Asian countries people do not joke around. People do not joke around, and especially when it comes to drugs, sexual immorality and all those other things. People don't joke around, and that guy is in prison as we're speaking. I can't recall his name, but he's Russian American. He used to do good content, great content, until people realize that most of his content has been scripted, and there's nothing wrong with scripting content as long as it's fun. As long as it's fun, there's nothing wrong with scripting the content. But then sometimes scripting can be a little bit dangerous, because it reduces your viewership. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I wish most of you are going to continue subscribing to this content. Thanks.